From the Pro Image Group of Companies, Pro Sport, in conjunction with the Victorian Football League, presents Pro Football.
Hello and welcome once again to more great VFL action in pro football. This week we're down at Moorabbin for the clash between the home side, the Southern Saints, and a side still aspiring to make it through to the finals, North Melbourne. But they wanted a win, and a big win down at Moorabbin if that was to be the case today. The Saints have been in pretty good form in recent weeks, whilst North Melbourne have been a little hot and cold. Although with the inclusion of the Cracker brothers, North started to take on a more positive look. Let's take you to the ground now for the opening bounce of the first term.
A very good afternoon and welcome to Moorabbin, to Pro Football's match of the day between St Kilda and North Melbourne. Perfect conditions down here. The umpires are Sheehan and Cameron. The Moorabbin ground, notorious for being wet and muddy, looks in fairly good condition. In fact, it's the best condition I've seen for years. St Kilda have won the toss. They're kicking to the right of screen. Trevor Barker winning that toss, and all important today. A crooked bounce straight into the arms of Jimmy Cracker, back in the side after suspension, and the mark almost taken down there by Nixon. Ball to the ground, and the umpire Sheehan will come in and bounce. Centre half forward for St Kilda. They're kicking with the aid of a fairly strong breeze too. McCann coming in. Wow, Jones gets the tap down. Tomei can't quite find it. Schimmelbusch gets it. In fact, North will kick to that end. Push in the back. The umpire has found the free kick, and the free kick will go to Peter German. North kicking to the Nepean Highway Road end. Peter German with a great chance of kicking the first goal. German comes in, 35 metres out. The kick looks pretty good, very quiet from the St Kilda fans behind, and North Melbourne kicked the first goal, and it's taken them a minute and a half. Goal to German from the free kick. Very small crowd down here. I'd say they'd be lucky to have 8,000 or 9,000. Following St Kilda's win last week against Richmond, we would have expected a far bigger crowd. The grandstand, patches of it, quite deserted. Peter Cameron putting the ball down. It's number 26 is Harris against Wow Jones. Shimmer overruns the ball. Tomei in there, finding the ball thrust out. Here's a chance now. Rene King, a long drop punt, looking for Lockett. Lockett being held perhaps. Burns comes through with it, loses his footing, straightens up, shoots a goal. First goal for the Saints. Great reply by Brett Burns. Good play from Rene King, getting the ball out of the centre. And the Saints level, goal apiece, 2 minutes into the first quarter. St Kilda fans around us really love that. Greg Burns, a very popular player down here. He started off in the forward pocket. Trevor Barker starting in the centre today. Back in the middle, it'll be Harris against Wow Jones. Another awkward bounce. Harris goes for the thump. Goes out wide looking for German. German, who kicked that goal earlier, in the front position. The hand pass out. Robertson. High kick in the back, surely. No, says the umpire. North away again. Larkin lines up. Hits the post. 1-1 to North Melbourne. And Matthew Larkin, a great chance to kick North's second goal. Slightly offline. North kicking with the aid of that fairly strong wind. Big kick out. Long kick. Bit of a scramble out there. Wow's in there. He can't quite pick it up. John Collins gets a hand pass out. St Kilda back into attack. Looking for Owen. He's pushed in the back. The umpire says play on Larkin again. Great player on his day. In the centre, it's Phil Cracker. Stops. Touches the ball to the ground. Gives him that extra second or two. Lovely looking kick. North Melbourne line up. Goal number 2, see if we can pick it up. I think it might have been Arsiri. Just wait for the player to coming back to the centre. And North, it's been a crackerjack opening here at Moorabbin. As I said, nice dry conditions, which are most unusual down here. And it was Mark Arsiri. 3 goals in 4 minutes. Cameron puts the ball down again. Another crooked bounce favouring Harris. Saints into attack. Play on, too short. Glendinning tries to kick the ball off the ground. The umpire says, no, too close to the players. It's Trevor Barker who'll take the free kick. He plays on straight away. He was looking for Burns, the kick offline, but Burns recovers beautifully. The tap over the shoulders, ill-directed. Ramsey with a hand pass out. North Melbourne through Hickey if he can pick it up. All the trouble in the world, finally picks it up, grab round the neck, Kink comes in, plays on, Law, straight onto the boot, Kink comes through again. It's Narkle who's pushed to the ground, the umpire lets things go on, and we'll have a bounce. Half-forward flank for the Saints, right in front of their social club. And as you can imagine, the social club members, not all that happy. The pushing and shoving, Tomei gets the ball out. Chance again for Peter Budge, up forward looking for Lockett. Lockett in the back, can't quite hold on. Doesn't recover as well as Law, over to Ramsey. Very reliable back pocket player, looks for his skipper Wayne Schimmelbusch. Schimmer has got Akers in front of him and uses as much of as he can. Nice kick, intercepted by St Kilda. The tap on, looks for Grant. Good play then by Jimmy Cracker. Barker comes in. Jimmy's right on the ball. Held, he hasn't got the ball. The umpire says there'll be a free kick. North Melbourne Wizards. German gets the hand pass on to Demetrio. Looking for McCann. Great chance for Stephen McCann, and he can pick it up off the ground anyway. Goal number 3 to North. A fumble. And fortunately for Stephen McCann, the ball fell onto his boot right in the goal square, and it just trickled through for North's 3rd goal. North Melbourne 3-1-19. St Kilda 1 solitary goal, 13 points down. Umpire Sheen with the ball. 4 goals in 6 minutes. Harris against Wow Jones. Seems Sheen's got a bias that way. It bounced the other way, that time towards Wow. Here's a chance now for Phil Cracker. The tap back to Jimmy. Great play. Jimmy screws it over his shoulder. It's right up into the square. It looks good. The bounce. 1 point. Screwed back nicely. Gamble. Looking for Barker. Not a particularly good kick. Wasn't touched. Free kick going to Andy Demetrio. He's picked up the St Kilda skipper out there. McConville, hand pass on. Odgers. Saints away again. They're under pressure. Demetrio. Wide. Through for a behind. So, after a lightning start down here at Moorabbin, North Melbourne are 3-3-21. They lead St Kilda by 15 points. Gamble kicks out wide, looking for Owen. Takes it safely on the chest. Nice pass, beautiful kick by the St Kilda fullback. Rod Owen showed a lot of potential as a youngster. I think he's got a lot of football ahead of him. St Kilda back into it through King, bursts through the incredible Hulk. The tap on, good football. Nixon. Narkle comes through. Oh, traps it beautifully. Looks for the pass. It's a lovely pass. It finds Rene King 30 metres out. Beautiful play, Phil Narkle. Trapped the ball and saw King. Rene Kink only a matter of 30 yards out. He's kicking into a fairly strong breeze. Andy Demetrio on the mark. Kink's kick. Looks good. Straight through for the Saints' 2nd goal. St Kilda 2 goals straight. Trail North Melbourne by 9 points. North 3 goals, 3-21, 8 minutes into the 1st quarter. Just a beautiful piece of play by Phil Narkle on the boundary line. That ground just a touch heavy down there, it looks. And he trapped the ball and then sent it across to Rene Kink. And Kink, a very experienced campaigner. He's played in 6 grand finals, Rene Kink. 5 losing sides, 1 draw. Big jump there by Harris, straight into Wow Jones. And the big wow ended up on the carpet, and will take the free kick. Looking for Kink again, but this time intercepting is Stephen Hickey. He's away, goes out wide, Arsiri. And the pass of beauty to Phil Cracker. Into the centre. North looking a bit more methodical as Rowan Robertson puts the ball up high, looking for Steve McCann. Tries for the one-hander. McCann with the ball. Can he get it to boot? No, he's caught. Peter Cameron says too long. Free kick will go to Mark Gamble. Play on, says the umpire. Gamble's kicks a high one. Andy Demetrio in front. Or was he? Peter German. German across to Larkin. Larkin lines up. 30 metres out. The kick, 1 behind only. Matthew Larkin, 2 kicks from the same spot. He's hit the post once and missed once. And North Melbourne move on to 3 goals 4. Been playing 9 minutes in this first quarter down here at Moorabbin. Beautiful afternoon. Slight breeze favouring North Melbourne in this first quarter. The ground in great condition. Gamble goes wide. Bit of a push and a shove there. That's the way the umpire sees it too. And the free kick will be taken by Peter McConville. Former Carlton utility player decides to go into the centre of the ground and be looking for Odgers or Kink. Kink couldn't quite make position. Chance now for Burns. The hand pass across to Fader Cunningham. Brother Jeff out of the side today, injured. Fader's off on the left foot. The pass, a poor one. Lockett tries to trap the ball. Burns comes in. Burns, he swings it back. He was looking for Kink. Swings it back too far. And it's Wayne Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch off, straight down the centre of the ground. Matthew Larkin in the front position. He's off. Great piece of play, Larkin. Lines up from 50 metres out. Sends it goalwards. And that one's through. No mistakes with that one. Matthew Larkin puts through his first. And North Melbourne move on to 4 goals 4-28. A blistering start by the Roos. And they lead St Kilda by 16 points. North Melbourne with 8 wins for the season. Just 1 game and percentage outside that final 5. Sheehan back in the centre. Let's see if they can get a straight bounce. And that one's a beauty. Wow gets the tap down. Cracker with the ball. He's caught. Peter Cameron will bounce. Jimmy walks straight into a human sandwich then. And he was the meat in the middle. Down again, another good bounce. Wow again gets the tap. Fairly up forward. St Kilda straight into attack. The bounce will be an awkward one. It was. The tap-on's a beauty down to Owen. Owen on the left foot, looking for Lockett. Lockett in the front position. The tap down, chance for St Kilda. Great play, Lockett gets the hand pass over. Kink comes through. He's offline, through for a behind. Bad Mr. Rene Kink, and he's annoyed with himself. The good thing about Rene Kink today, and I gather last week, is that he's moving up forward and creating that target. And when he's moving, he's a hard man to stop. Ball out wide. Good mark taken there by Steve McCann, experienced campaigner. Over to Rowan Robertson. Has 1, now 2 bounces. He's out wide on the left. Swings it around the boundary line, and Phil Cracker couldn't mark it. Have a throw in there on North Melbourne's half-forward line. 15 points the difference after 13 minutes. Harrison Jones. Jones gets the tap. Ball sent at Arsiri in the front position. Dives on the ball, gets the hand pass out. North looking good. Oh, good tackle then. Cunningham. No ball then. The umpire says play on as Collins gets the ball into action. Kicks it high. Frawley. He's held. The umpire says play on. Narkle does it well. Peter Budge. Out looking for Burns and Schimmelbusch. Ball swung back. And John Law takes it on the chest and plays on. He's caught with the ball. The umpire says good tackle, Tony Lockett. And Peter Cameron's awarded the free kick to the young St Kilda full forward. He's off like a shot, looking for Narkle, left by himself. Out there in the forward pocket, he plays on around Steve McCann. The kick is a poor one, and North intercept. Larkin, been a great player in this first quarter, has a run, hand pass across to David Dwyer. He's no slouch either. The pass down the wing finds Arsieri, centre wing position. Mark Arsieri already kicked 1 goal. McConville in the back position has the punch. Peter Budge goes in there. The umpire says no, we'll have a bounce. Right on the 50-metre line. North Melbourne's attacking zone. North looks so much better with Jimmy and Phil Cracker back in the side, and Matthew Larkin, who is a most exciting young player. And there he is with the ball now. Eludes 3 St Kilda players, swings it around. He'll be just out of bounds on the full. Peter McConville to take the free kick. McConville in the back pocket for the Saints. Dreadful kick, intercepted. The hand pass could be on. It's Harris who comes out with it. Struggles. Chance for North. Ball out of bounds and a throw in about 2 metres around from the behind post. We're at the Nepean Highway end of the ground. Throw in. Tried for the grab. The umpire says play on towards the boundary, and we'll have another throw in. North Melbourne's forward pocket, 3 or 4 metres around from their behind post. Over the back. Barker gets the hand pass across. St Kilda out and running. Ricky Nixon out wide. Towards the boundary line. Mark Gamble, or Andrew Jobling it was, gets the ball back then to Frawley. Frawley has time to steady. He's looking for Burns. Burns in the back position then. Scrambly play, comes out with the ball, and umpire Peter Cameron will come in and pay the free kick. Waiting for Roy Ramsey. Big try then. Demetrio high towards full forward, and Peter McConville takes a good mark. This stage on our Pro Footy Match of the Day, we welcome Brad Gotch to the microphone, and Brad, the ground hasn't looked better for years.
No, they've done very well to get it up the way it is today, considering last week.
Been a good start by North Melbourne too, as Steve McCann comes through. Tries to do too much. Peter German comes out with the ball. The hand passes on fairly. Back over to the boundary line, and Mark Arsieri just can't quite get there in time. Wow, Jones was in doubt, but he's done a good job in this first 15 minutes. Peter German lines up and puts it through. Second goal to Peter German, and North Melbourne are looking very strong. How strong was the wind out there?
Well, I'd say it'd be about a 5-goal breeze, Stephen.
So that's exactly what they've done. North Melbourne 5-4-34, St Kilda 2-1-13. We've been playing probably 18 minutes in this first quarter, and North Melbourne have got the breeze. It looks as though it's fluctuating from straight down the ground to across towards the outer forward flank.
Yeah, if you come in from this this member side stand, probably the best way to go.
Back in the middle, it's Stephen McCann coming in to ruck against Wow Jones. Wow gets it down too. Done a good job in the ruck so far. There's been a bit of a shove in the back there. The umpire says no. Narkle comes in. Can't get out. And the umpire will bounce again. This is Sheehan. Still in the centre square, slightly favouring the St Kilda forward zone. Got to throw it up. Wow in there, uses the body well. Very good tap ruckman, Wow. And Trevor Barker takes the bump ball. Could have been a trip then. That's the way the umpire saw it too. Bark's very popular down here at Moorabbin. Goes out wide. Robertson, here's a chance for St Kilda. Odgers, there's 2 of them. The hand passes on. Back towards Grant. Rene King telling him to settle. At this stage there'll be 40 players down there. His kick's a high one, looking for Tony Lockett. Lockett comes out, can't quite grab it. Narkle, no, can't get out either. North defence has been very solid so far.
It's quite easy to bottle it up there, you know, kicking with the wind.
McCann. Chance for Peter Budge. High kick. Ramsey underneath it. Or is it Ackley? Ackley it was. Moore.
And a kick too.
And not a good kick either. It might be out of bounds on the full. No, 2 yards in. Fader Cunningham comes through. Drops the shoulder as he runs past Jimmy Cracker. Just to remind him who's in charge. The throw in centre wing position. It's a long throw too. Just a little deceptive. Good bump then by Cunningham. Peter Budge, the hand pass out. Owen, caught high. It has to be a free kick. And Rod Owen didn't like that one little bit. The umpire pulling Stephen Hickey back 15 metres. Owen off. And a good mark there, yes. He's a dangerous player. Why would he be starting off today in the forward pocket?
Well, last week he started in the forward pocket as well, and he's got a roving commission on the forward line. So it's not really a permanent forward pocket. He's meant to go everywhere across the forward line.
Last week Trevor Barker started in the middle and just blitzed them.
Yeah, well that's what they seem to rotate Burns and Barker and Narkle.
The kick. Oh, you can see how strong that wind is. One behind only. And I think St Kilda haven't done a bad job to kick 2 goals 2 in this first quarter. They're trailing by, 3 goals 2, 20 behinds. Ackley off. Long kick too. Rene Kink in the top position there, but couldn't quite get it. German gets the ball out. Robertson back to Fairley. Plays on. Goes out wide looking for Demetrio. And that could well have been a bump over the boundary line. It's the worst looking number 32 you've ever seen on the back of Andrew Jobling. I think they gave him a discount 3. Let's have a look at Wow Jones. A number of the knockouts, he can't quite get to it. That time Barker comes out with it. Steve McCann takes the easy mark. Some good shepherding down there by Roy Ramsey. Phil Narkle instructed to give the ball back and invited to come back another 15 metres for not doing it properly. McCann, 55-60 metre kick easily. Some high leapers. Arsieri gets the hand pass out to Phil Cracker. Great smother, a very good smother then by Ricky Nixon. Can't quite get it. Backs up well. The hand pass over the top to Peter McConville. Needed the good bounce. It's a bit damp out there. Hand pass on again from Nixon. Been a good player in this first quarter for the Saints. Kicks an awful one into the wind and we'll have a throw in. Been playing about 22 minutes in this first quarter and the scoreboard shows North Melbourne 34 leading St Kilda 14 by 20 points. Oh, good one-handed attempt in by Owen. The pass is on and Arsieri comes out with it. Very damaging player, Mark Arsieri.
Proving quite dangerous at this stage.
He is indeed. He's kicked one, Brad, and that one just a bit short, fell short. Larkin tries. Oh, dangerous play down there at the moment. And the bounce over the...
He's very lucky then.
Yes, that was just a touch deliberate, that one. He looked as though, Paul Tomei looked as though he was going to punch it through from behind and decided to economise. Wow gets the big thump. Done well in the ruck so far. Good pick up then. Peter Budge swings it round. Phil Cracker there. Cracker 35 metres out, and Brad, if the wind is as you say, he should have it almost over his shoulder.
Yeah, I'd say if he just kicks this fairly straight, it should go through. Just looking at the windsock over there, it's about the right angle.
Just getting a few words of advice then from his skipper, Wayne Schimmelbusch, number 20. Left footer. Kick is dead straight, hits the post. It's the second poster for the Roos in this first quarter, and they move on to 5 goals, 5-35, and they're now 21 points ahead. Brad was out there playing in the earlier match, and he figured the win to be around 5 goals, so the Saints haven't done a bad job. The tap on by Barker. Ball will go over the boundary line in the centre of the ground. They've had a fair bit of the ball in this first quarter, St Kilda. but the North defence has been very, very tight indeed. Ball gets down to the ground. Danny Frawley doing the ruck work on that occasion. And Dinning gets the ball out. The hand passes on. Here's the chance now for North. And a good tackle out there. And Rod Owen's been in a couple of little altercations there. And it's been a bit hot-headed.
Fairly hot-headed sort of player, Rod Owen.
And the umpire just having a word to the North boys, as we have the throw-in now between centre wing and half-forward flank for North Melbourne on that outer side of the ground. And you can see by the very sparse crowd, probably less than 10,000 here, which is a bit disappointing. North Melbourne through Jimmy Cracker, a high kick. A good mark down there by Peter McConville. I would probably think the best, most safest mark in the St Kilda side.
Definitely. Had a good year too.
I couldn't believe it when Carlton let him go. Ross Glendinning hardly had a touch. North come out with it. Shimmer will go into that forward pocket, or will he kick it straight? Straight down the middle of the ground. Fader Cunningham comes through. Jimmy Cracker can't pick it up. Very unusual. Got hands like with glue on them. Tomei looks for the long hand pass. Jobbling straight down the ground. That's better play to St Kilda. Danny Frawley with the ball right in the middle. He'll play on. Give his forward something.
Great.
Poor kick. Good tackle there. Lucky kick off the ground perhaps, because it finds David Dwyer. Dwyer goes out wide, kicking right to plan, finds Phil Cracker. Been a great player in his first quarter. Looks for brother Jimmy. And punched away from him too. Good defensive work by St Kilda. Barker overruns the ball, but he'll pick it up. He trips at the last minute. He's tackled. Some awkward football there. Some ungainly stuff. And Barks is down. He copped a heavy knock. And I think he might have had the wind knocked out of him by the look of things. Umpire Peter Cameron will wait until the trainers get him to his feet. And by the look of Graham Bond, the runner there in the yellow T-shirt, he looks fairly distressed. He's copped his fair share of knocks over the years, Trevor Barker, mainly because he's always in there. It's wow. Free kick St Kilda's way. Paul Tomei comes out with it. Barker still in the hands of the trainers. Tomei off. Goes back to the centre of the ground. Burns looking for Frawley. Falls on the ball, traps it well. Fairly in there. Tap out there, Joblin can't pick it up. Oh, could have been a high tackle, but he ducked his head. Ackley back through his legs. Here's a chance now for Joblin again. Comes out with it well. Pass. Finds King. Rene King uses his strength to break free. He'll centre the ball, looking for Nixon, but Schimmelbusch, the ever-reliable Wayne Schimmelbusch, the league's longest-serving skipper, heading towards 300 games, and that's one of Schimmel's longest-ever kicks, I can tell you. McCann comes out with the ball over to German. North Melbourne forward line nice and open. German goes long. Kick just offline and through for a behind.
Good movement from the back line then.
Very good indeed, and I suppose that's the way to play this ground with the breeze. Kick it as far as you can, and just hope that you've got people like Steve McCann to mark it.
That's right.
Mark out there taken by Paul Tomei. Had a reasonable first quarter too. Breeze just strengthening now. We can feel it in our commentary position.
Very strong.
Saints back in the middle looking for Frawley. He hasn't had a great first quarter, Danny Frawley, but he's a very good player. Great piece of play then by Jimmy Cracker. He goes long, down to the forward pocket, just offline. Ball just going over the boundary line now, about 15 metres around from the North Melbourne behind post. 22 points the difference at the 28-minute mark of this first quarter in pro football's match of the day at Moorabbin. Wow in the back position, gets all over Steve McCann. The umpire lets it go. Robertson can't pick it up. Arsieri comes out with it. Good footwork by Mark Arceri. He's flung to the ground by Collins. The umpire lets play go on. Barker in there again. He's got his breath back.
Looks okay again.
He always looks all right. He'd be very upset to hear you say anything else, Brad. Wow gets the big knuckle to the ball. Peter Budge, it's ridden to the ground. The umpire's found a free kick. Just has a word or two to a couple of North Melbourne boys then. They're continuing things. John Peter Budge. Nice looking kick into that breeze too. Over the back is fairly, but off hands they say. Grant can't get it out. David Dwyer with a hand pass back to Andy Demetrio. Demetrio sidesteps nicely, has the bounce. He's 50 metres out. He sends it long. The ball is going with the breeze. And a great mark down there by Peter McConville.
Doing a good job down there.
Indeed he is. He's had plenty of work to do too. Out to Andrew Jobling. And there's the siren for quarter time in Pro Football's match of the day at Moorabbin. Quarter time, North Melbourne 5 goals, 6-36. Leads St Kilda quite comfortably by 2-2-14. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. Second quarter getting underway here at Moorabbin in Pro Footy's match of the day. North Melbourne and St Kilda. North kicked with the aid of a fairly good breeze in the first quarter and lead by 22 points. Harris gets the tap down. It's Fader Cunningham who comes out. The umpire says holding the man. Fader off with it. Hand pass across to Barker, his skipper. He'll be back on the side next week, Fader, if he keeps doing that. Looking for Burns. Can't quite hold it. North come out of the defence. Burns uses his weight. Great strength. Hand pass across to Barker. The short pass is on. It's a beauty. Here's the chance now. Lining up. Just offline. That looked like Andrew Jobling, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Andrew. Costly missed that one.
Stephen Phillips and Brad Gotch, your commentators for this pro football match. Brad's had the chance to have a bit of a run earlier on today. Run a few kinks out of the legs. Long kick out. Wow punches it on. The hand pass. Oh, big chance for North Melbourne here. Demetrio over to Dwyer. Over to McCann. McCann running well. Long kick on the run. Arceri perhaps. No, one-hander. It's a great mark to Ross Glendinning.
That one handball mistake had all the North players running.
It was a shocker too. Glendinning now from 5 metres out. Lines it up, puts it through. That's North 6th. What an excellent mark to Ross Glendinning. When he goes down to full forward, he can just swing a game in 1 quarter. He's done it before. I think he did it last week.
You can't afford to bustle with him, can you? He's seems to be too strong.
He's had, I suppose, a mediocre season. He hasn't been the player we've seen in recent years. But when he cuts loose, there's very few guys in the league who can keep up with him. Back in the centre, Darren Harris versus Wow Jones. Jones, the illuminated or the illustrated man, gets the tap down. St Kilda come out of the centre well that time. Kick off the ground was attempted, not a good one. Jobling can't quite get boot to ball. Robertson kicks it out wide. Grant tries to swing round, backs up well. Phil Cracker's right on his heels, comes out with the ball. Phil swings around. That left foot's ever so handy. He weaves and turns. He's caught by the ankle. Free kick to Phil Cracker. It's a great little player.
How was the pressure he applied to get the ball? It was great.
And looks for and finds Peter German. Kicked 2 goals already, Peter German. He won't make it 3 from 55 metres out. Lucky if he makes half the distance. Wow's there and the Wow man takes the mark. Hand pass over to John Collins on the left foot. Back out there to Harris. Wow's opponent. Got plenty of pace for a big fella.
Very agile.
Steve McCann in the front position. The umpire says play on. Trevor Barker kicks it high. It's a shocking kick. Skipper to skipper. Wayne Schimmelbusch can't take the mark. Peter Budge was in there. The hand pass is out this time to Fader Cunningham. Fader's away, kicks it out wide. Not a good kick. Ackley in the front position. Ackley will beat it before the boundary line perhaps, but he's pushed over the line by Narkle, and the umpire says there'll be a throw in. Centre wing position, right between the players' races there. St Kilda crowd very vocal. They enjoyed a win last week against Richmond. They want to make it 2 in a row. Robertson. Schimmelbusch. Schimmer with a hand pass on to German. German's kick into centre half forward. Good use of the body. The umpire allows it, but no mark. Scrambly play. The umpire will bounce. Umpire Peter Cameron at centre half forward. North Melbourne's attacking zone. The margin now is 27 points. McCann gets the tap down. Schimmelbusch in the back position. Uses his experience, comes out with the ball. Good play, Schimmer. Schimmer's drop punt out wide towards the pocket. Ball to the ground. And pass on then to Demetrio. Lines up. He's tackled at the last minute. Swung just offline. 3 St Kilda players battle each other. Wow comes out with the ball. Hand pass back. Here's the chance now. Glendinning lines up, kicks his second goal for the quarter. Second goal in 4 minutes. And that's exactly what we were saying. Ross Glendinning can just swing a match.
North seem to have the numbers at the moment with the ball, the fall of the ball. Makes it a little easier.
Does indeed.
Kilda seem to be just kicking the ball long out of the back line anywhere, rather than trying to pinpoint a man.
North Melbourne have really got something to aim for because they're still a serious finals contender. Wow, with a 35-metre punch looking for Kink. Over the top to Narkle. That's teamwork, Saints. Narkle lines up. He's offline, through for a behind. Wasted chance then. Phil Narkle all the time in the world. One can only wonder if there was any talk. John Law kicks out wide. The defensive flank. Plenty of use of body in there. Demetrio comes out with the ball. Chance then for Frawley. Frawley with a hand pass across to Burns. Burns keeps it low. And a good mark taken down there by Johnny Law. Very reliable defender for the Roos over recent years. Ball will be thrown in. 60 metres out from the St Kilda goal in that dead pocket. 2-4 St Kilda, North Melbourne 7-6. Awkward looking kick back to the centre of the ground. Phil Cracker tries, pounces on the ball, gets it out. That's the beautiful thing about the Crackers. Once they touch the footy, they hold on to it. Wow can't grab the ball. He recovers well for the big fella. Gets the hand pass out. That's good footy. Saints away again. Kink in the back position. Rene can't hold the ball. Not good football by Rene Kink. That's better play. Bit of pressure on. Kink again with more pressure. They'll have the bounce. Rene got a bit of a whack then, I think, on the elbow.
He dislocated that elbow early on in the year, so he might have just knocked it then.
Would have been a fair bump to dislocate Rene Kink's elbow. He'd have to knock the pizza out of his hand.
Yeah.
We're only joking, Rene. Throw in forward pocket for St Kilda. That dead pocket again. North trying to bottle it up. Barker with it. Here's the chance now for Lockett. Front position, can't hold it. St Kilda still with the ball. The umpire says no, just over the boundary line, Burnsy. And we'll have the throw in. Plenty of opportunities, St Kilda. They just haven't been able to break through that North Melbourne defence. Harris gets the tap down, German away. Schimmer gets rid of the ball before he's flattened. Robertson over to Arsieri.
Free kick, dropping the ball against Schimmelbusch, I think.
The St Kilda fans like it, the North fans don't like it very much. Saints away. Lovely pass in there, finds Lockett. But the angle, the wind will make it very difficult. Tony Lockett lines up. Great kick. That's his 43rd for the season, Tony Lockett. And St Kilda move to 3-4-22, making some impression on North Melbourne 7-6-48.
Need a couple of more quick ones, I think, just to bridge that gap.
They sure do.
Wouldn't want to let North slip away now.
We've got Wow back in the middle of the ground. He'll be up against Darren Harris. And the Wow won nearly all the knockouts. Free kick too high, says the umpire. A few words. Danny Frawley with the ball. Frawley goes long. It's a good-looking kick too. Or Lockett almost pulls it in one-handed. Great smother. That's the way. Schimmelbusch been dangerous. And St Kilda that time through Odgers. Gary Odgers gets the ball across there to Ricky Nixon.
I'll kick this. No.
Nixon's kick. Darren Harris can't mark it. Danger through 4 behind, is it? Another behind us, St Kilda. St Kilda now 3 goals, 5-23. North Melbourne 7-6-48. Ackley kicks out. Good-looking kick too, all of 50 metres. Wow has the ball tapped away from him. Jobling comes out with it, kicks it high. Sorry, that was Nixon. Shouldn't forget Ricky Nixon because he's played a pretty good game. Peter German, another very, very good player for North Melbourne so far. Well, left by himself then was McCann. Couldn't even mark it then. Jimmy Cracker gets the handball out, intercepted that time. The Saints away again. Kink in the perfect position, takes the mark. He's well within kicking distance, Rene Kink. He's kicked 1-1. Once again, he has that wind to contend with. He'll have to allow for it. You'd almost have to aim at the grandstand behind post and hope to swing in. The kick, that's where he aimed. Free kick for St Kilda, and the St Kilda fans love it. David Ackley caught with the ball, and landing on top of him was Tony Lockett. That could well be 15 metres. Just to add insult to injury. Tony Lockett, I don't think, had a kick in the first quarter. Kicked 1 goal with his first kick in the second quarter, and now at the 10-minute mark has the chance to make it 4 goals for St Kilda. Got the wind over his shoulder. Dead centre. Goal number 4 to St Kilda. They move on to 4-5-29. North Melbourne 7-6-48 the margin, now 3 goals.
Definitely been having more of the play in the last 5 or 6 minutes, so starting to convert a little bit better.
Brad, I thought St Kilda had a fair bit of the play in the first quarter, and they just couldn't finish it off.
Yeah, I think Law's doing a great job on Lockett. Lockett's kicked only 2 goals, so and the amount of chances that he's had, he's done a fair job, Law.
Kink was a very vital player in that first quarter. He's come into it in the last couple of minutes. Narkle's been a good player, and they've had a lot of drive from Warren, Wow, Jones in the ruck.
He's doing well with the knockouts.
I think there are a few better players in the league than Wow with the knockouts. Burns back in the middle, on the left foot, kicks it high, looking for Lockett again. He's nudged out. And the free kick is going to Tony Lockett. It was quite a clear nudge. Had his eyes on the ball all the way. We talked about Ross Glendinning swinging a game. I think this young fellow, Tony Lockett, given half a chance, could do it many times in the years ahead. Big plugger comes in. Crowd love it. He's a beautiful kick at a football. Tony Lockett kicks his 3rd.
Makes a difference when they get the ball out of the centre. The way Burns got the tap down from Jones straight away, and it's in the forward line with 1 kick. Gives the forwards a much better opportunity.
You think the patrons up there at those Sale Yard Hotel up in Ballarat would be enjoying this on their pro footy replay. Tony Lockett kicked 3 goals straight from 3 kicks, all in this quarter into the 13-minute mark. St Kilda 5-5, North Melbourne 7-6. Just a couple of goals in it now, 13 points. Wow, gets that thumping tap down again and follows up nicely. The hand passes out to Narkle. Narkle's off, looks for Lockett. Lockett in the front position, traps the ball. Can he get it? Law hot on his hammer. The hand pass over to Kink. Kink with a tap back over his head. looking for Narkle. Back to Kink. The hand pass just overrun. And Lockett tries to pull the ball back in. Great, exciting play by St Kilda. The talk then with Kink made it a bit difficult for the big fellow. I think the ball was called for over his shoulder, and he tried his hardest. Dwyer comes out with the ball, kicks it high. St Kilda again in the front position. The tap down, Larkin. He's everywhere. Cracker in the back position. Jobling in the front position. Or Nixon. The long hand pass. Not a good one. A dangerous one, in fact. But St Kilda come out with it. Collins with a hand pass back to Owen. Owen in the centre of the ground. From 60 metres out, he goes for the long torpedo. It's an awful looking kick. John Law can't mark it. He's a bit rattled, I think, at the moment. The tap down by Grant. Smother. Frawley tries to swing it back. Lockett, 1 against 3. But he's in the back position, and the mark will be paid to North Melbourne. It'll be taken by Steve McCann. He's a bit taller, long arms. The hand pass then, looking for Schimmelbusch. It's Kink and Schimmelbusch. Kink does well, comes out with the ball, trips at the last moment. He's still got the ball. The umpire says it's held to him.
Good play.
Very good play. And don't St Kilda look that much better. They've got their peckers up at the moment, St Kilda. Jimmy Cracker in the front position. Handballs are just out of bounds there, and we'll have a throw in.
North's running players have just quietened down a little bit in the last 10 minutes.
Well, Larkin's died out of it a little, and so too has German. You can't knock either of those two players because they both played so very well. St Kilda burst through. Collins lines up. Swings around, swirling conditions, through for a behind, and that should make the margin
2 goals.
just on 2 goals. 5-6 to 7-6. St Kilda have kicked 3 goals for. North Melbourne 2 goals, both kicked by Ross Glendinning. Fairley marks it all by himself, goes out wide looking for Larkin. He's pushed to the ground and will take a fairly obvious free kick. Great footballer. Lovely looking kick. Good try then by Harris. Wow's grabbed the ball, but there'll be a free kick to his opponent. Darren Harris has the free kick. Impressed with the big fellow. He's got plenty of pace. Ross Glendinning calling for it long and high, but you can see then the strength of that wind.
Good play,
Rogers straight down the middle of the ground. Steve McCann just takes it on the chest. Poor play. Out to Phil. For some unknown reason, they don't like Phil Cracker. I think most people in the league delight in watching him play. Robertson. Looking for Glendinning behind. Man in front. Play on, says the umpire. The hand pass out to Arsieri. The tap on. Good football. Harris gets it back to Glendinning. He's grabbed high. The umpire says play on. We'll have a bounce. 35 metres out right in front of the St Kilda Social Club. South Road end of the ground. Wow uses his body. Ball dies in midair. Odgers centres the ball. Looking for Narkle in the front position. Arsieri runs through. Burns can't get him. Arsieri looks for the pass. It's a nice one. Finds Robertson. Plays on. Robertson on the left foot touches the ball to the ground. Lines up. It's a good-looking kick. Looking for Glendinning. Glendinning perhaps playing for the free kick then. And the ball going over the line. "18 minutes, second quarter. It's North Melbourne by 2 goals. Oh, it's an awful looking kick. Play on, says the umpire. To May. Hand pass over to Narkle. Narkle chased by Cracker. Over to Burns. Here's a chance for the Saints. Barker by himself at centre half forward. He'll go for Lockett. Doesn't give him much chance. But it's Kink. Lockett picks it up. Swings it round. Puts it through. Through for a goal. It's his 4th for the quarter. North Melbourne lead by a goal.
Burns running loose here on the wing. I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him. set up the play then. It was well run out of the back line by St Kilda.
Great play then by Tony Lockett. Good play by Burns, as Brad Gotch says. And St Kilda have now kicked 4-4 for the quarter. 2 goals to North Melbourne, both kicked in the opening minutes. The first 4 minutes of the quarter by Ross Glendinning. The crowd's come to life. Not a big crowd. They enjoyed victory last week. They're ready for another one this week. Big wow, slams it out of the centre. Free kick will go North Melbourne's way. Taken by Larkin. Owen in the front position. The wind just making things a little difficult. Ball out then by Collins. Looks as though he's grabbed by the ankle. The umpire says he'll have a bounce. One of the better games we've seen down here at Moorabbin for a long time, and I think the dry ground, the good conditions, just make footy so much better. I think the sprinklers must have broken. King comes out with it, can't quite pick it up. It's German who grabs the ball and goes wide, looking for Cracker Phil. Goes out, right out to the boundary line. Andy Demetrio, it'll beat Demetrio. Wasn't good play then by Phil Cracker.
Bit too wide. That's the dead side of the ground, so they should be coming more towards centre forward.
Yes, it's hard work bringing it in. We saw Harris, the ruckman, trying to kick it before from out there, and it just stays in mid-air. Demetrio, free kick. Go back to Phil Cracker. And he goes out wide again. Peter German. Clever. Ball just sitting there in mid-air. Greg Burns in front. And Burns really giving the Saints some life in the centre. Not that Barker wasn't, but Burns a tear-away type of player. It's like Peter Budge. Over to Gamble. Got plenty of pace. Here's a chance for Barker now. Won't grab the ball in time. Oh, slides straight into the North dugout. There's a throw in. Siri tries for the hand pass. It's intercepted. Oh, high round the neck. Could be a free kick to St Kilda and 15 metres. Silly football against Siri. It's Odgers. St Kilda players saying, come on, get the ball down forward, give Lockett a chance. It's a good-looking kick by Gary Odgers. Lockett in the back position, takes the mark. Chance for his 5th goal of the quarter.
Too strong on that occasion. To level the scores.
Tony Lockett. It's a good kick by Gary Odgers. Tony Lockett lines up for goal number 5, and he will have kicked them all in the space of 20 minutes. 5 goals in 20 minutes, scores level here at Moorabbin in Pro Footy's match of the day. St Kilda and North Melbourne locked at 7-6 apiece. And Tony Lockett, the star of the quarter, with 5 straight goals.
Stands out that if the side's got a good full forward, it helps.
It does indeed. North Melbourne have got Ross Glendinning at one end. He's had a couple of chances this quarter and kicked 2 goals. And St Kilda have had a real focal point in Tony Lockett, and he's kicked 5 for the term. Back in the centre, it's Wow gets the tap down. Cracker comes through. Owen tries to get the ball. North Melbourne barge the ball forward. Here's Phil Cracker. Loose man set up. Oh, he's flattened. Here's the chance now. The umpire says play on. Oh, has he? No, he's pulled the ball back. Phil Cracker almost had his head ripped off then. And the umpire has paid the free kick downfield to Robert Saggers. And Jimmy Cracker just coming in to have a word. The umpire just warning him. Nasty scene that. No need for it. Out you go, Jimmy.
He just wants to get in there and stick up for his brother, I think.
He does indeed, and it's quite admirable, but neither the time nor the place. He's just come back from a suspension, and that's the last place he wants to spend the remaining weeks of the season. Should be a North Melbourne goal. Robert Saggers with the ball now. Kicked a lot of goals in the seconds this season. In fact, he still leads the reserve goal kicking with 55 goals. He kicked 6 goals last week. Coach John Kennedy will be hoping he can put his first for the seniors this week on the board. Peter Cameron just trying to soothe things. I think Phil Cracker understands that his side has the free kick downfield with the aid of some 20 metres. I can't understand why Phil Narkle's on the mark. That's better, wow. That's better football.
Yeah, sure.
Robert Saggers lines up. Looks as though it might have been offline. It is one behind only. Seems silly having Phil Narkle on the mark when you've got a 6'5" fella like Wow there to
That's right.
make it a bit tougher.
Make it a bit harder to kick. Oh, look at the kick.
Beautiful looking kick. And a great mark taken by Danny Frawley. 24 minutes gone in the quarter. The Saints want more on the board. Pointless going sideways. And a mark taken there by Wayne Schimmelbusch, an object lesson for young footballers. You watch the ball, got every chance of marking it. And he didn't take his eyes off it. Shimmer's kick. Wow in the middle of the ground. And the big Wow takes the mark. And passes on straight away over there to Ricky Nixon, been a very good player. He goes out wide. Lockett comes through with the ball. Good tackle.
Didn't have a chance.
The umpire says exactly no chance, we'll have a bounce. 7-6 St Kilda, trail North Melbourne 7-7 by just 1 point as we enter time on in the second half. Second quarter of Pro Football's match of the day down here at Moorabbin. If form was any guide, it wouldn't really have been the match of the day. St Kilda on the bottom of the ladder, North Melbourne a final 5 aspirant. But Saints are very tough to beat down here. Steve McCann goes out wide. North away again. German, oh no, sorry, Harris. Big high kick looking for Glendinning, uses his weight well. Good defensive play. Here's the chance for North. Demetrio looks for someone to kick it to. He'll go backwards looking for Dwyer. Peter Budge goes for the punch. Here's the chance for Cracker Jim. The hand pass is a beauty over to Larkin. Larkin lines up. Oh, good try then by Dwyer. Glendinning comes in, snaps his third for the quarter, and it's North Melbourne by 7 points.
It's a bit stiff then because Gamble had to go and meet Dwyer and left Glendinning on his own.
55 plays 48. North Melbourne just coming back into things the last couple of minutes. A point to Saggers from the set shot, and then another snap to Glendinning, his third for the quarter. And the full forwards between them, 5 to Lockett, 3 for Glendinning, all in this quarter. Cameron puts it down in the middle. Tap down, Fader Cunningham. The ball bounces. Will it bounce favourably? Dwyer traps it beautifully. Could have been a bit high. Peter Cameron went to blow the whistle. And let play just go on for a second or two. Frawley gives the ball back. Peter Cameron will bounce right in front. St Kilda stand here, centre wing position. Tap down. Peter Budge in the front position, comes out with the ball. Burns. Yeah, he did indeed. Narkle almost dropped it. The hand passes on to Odgers. Odgers with the pass, looks for Barker. Intercepted then by Ramsey. Ramsey kicks towards the boundary line and German brings in the mark. Been a good player today, German.
He's had a good year.
He has. He's a very, very talented player. It's a nice kick into the breeze too. Good grab. Grab taken on that occasion by Peter McConville. Over the top. Here's a chance now for Grant. Good solid tackle. And the umpire will bounce.
He's hard then. That's good work.
Frawley, front position, comes out with the ball. Demetrio. North will try and bottle it up for the remaining minute or so of this quarter. Paul Tomei won't get there in time, and the ball will be thrown in right in front of the Schwepp sign out there on centre wing. Perhaps in front of the Goodyear sign. Wow gets the tap over the back. It was a good tap too. He follows up. We'll have a bounce. Good bloke round the club, Wow.
Oh, fantastic guy, yeah.
He's evidently one of the top rabbiting men around football. He's been known to chase rabbits all around South Melbourne. Larkin on the left foot. Back towards the centre. Trapped nicely then by Burns. Burns spears it in. And David Dwyer it is who puts up those long arms in front of Peter Budge and takes the ball. Hand passes on. Phil Cracker. Have North got time to extend that lead of 7 points? The pass. Looking for and finding John Law, who's moved from Lockett. He's kicked it up looking for Glendinning. The ball will bounce. Bounces through for a lucky goal, perhaps. But he kicked it straight at the middle of the goals, and it's bounced through.
Bulls have come back well in this last 5 minutes.
And so they should have, really, for a side of their skill. 29 minutes.
Possibly St Kilda have just relaxed that little bit in those last 5 minutes. Just haven't concentrated as well as they should have.
Umpire Peter Cameron back in the centre. We're right on the 30-minute mark of the second quarter here at Moorabbin. Pro Footy's match of the day. North Melbourne 9-7, St Kilda 7-6. The margin 13 points once again. The Wow goes for the backhander. It's a beauty too. Kink can't quite pick it up. Hasn't been that sure of hand today, Rene Kink. And that's what the Saints need. They want him to grab it first time. German. Hand pass over to John Law, who's playing on the forward line. Oh, a collision out there. And that one would have hurt. Looked like Fader Cunningham. Free kick.
Doesn't look too good.
John Law. Oh, shook him up, and he's a tough man, John Law. Over the top went Jimmy Cracker. Comes out with the ball. It's amazing how he can come out with it. 1 minute he was airborne, the next minute he had the ball. Cameron decides to throw. Still a bit moist out there. Back towards the centre from Tomei. Peter Budge taps it on. Rene Kink unable to just get there, that extra foot. And Barker with the ball. Good hand pass. On a gamble. Lovely looking piece of play then by the Saints. They're away and running. Looks like Peter Budge with a hand pass over to Narkle. Narkle, can he find Lockett for goal number 6 for the quarter? He lines him up. It's a beautiful looking kick. It's a goal. Great goal to Narkle. And St Kilda close that gap again. St Kilda 8-6, 54 on the Pro Football scoreboard. Trail North Melbourne 9-7, 61 by just 7 points. St Kilda crowd right behind their men too. Have they got time for one more, the Saints? 32 minutes gone in this second quarter. Barker back in the centre. Been working well, that ploy. Down it goes. North Melbourne get the tap down. Larkin comes out beautifully. Sidesteps. Looks for Cracker. Follows up. Beautiful football then by Larkin. There's the siren for half-time.
Desperate stuff there.
Was desperate indeed, and some tough football there right in the dying minutes. At half-time, North Melbourne 9-7, 61 leads St Kilda by 7 points. The Saints 8-6, 54. We'll be back with more of Pro Footy's match of the day, the second half, in just a moment.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark, the VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at leading stores. Real footy gear, real footy accessories, real footy supporters gear too, in all club colours and badges. Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the VFL mark at leading stores.
Second half about to get underway here at Moorabbin in Pro Footy's match of the day. Stephen Phillips and Brad Gotch are commentators, and it's been a thriller. North Melbourne 9-7, 61. St Kilda 8-6, 54. 7 points the difference. North will kick with the aid of a pretty strong breeze. Brad, you've been down to the rooms. The Saints confident?
Yeah, they're fairly confident. They want to put 2 wins in a row together.
They look tired?
Yeah, they looked a bit tired.
Wow gets the big punch down. The kick getters at half-time. Peter German for North Melbourne has 11 and Matthew Larkin 10. And of course, the goal kickers, the main goal kickers, Tony Lockett kicked 5 for the Saints in the second quarter. Ross Glendinning 3. Fader gets the hand pass across to Owen. It's intercepted there by David Dwyer, and the ball is finally out of bounds for a throw-in right in front of the St Kilda race. Looks as though there's been a change down there on the field. Looks like St Kilda have brought on Frank Coughlin. North away again through Larkin, his 11th kick. Oh, here's a chance now for Phil Cracker if he can get to the ball, but it beats him over the boundary line. Some silly play down there. Just a bit of a nudge after the ball was over the boundary line. Last place on earth and last person you'd want to give a free kick to 15 metres out from goal. The attacking forward pocket. Wow in the van. Passes it down. It's Siri who picks it up, drops it, then tackles Peter Cameron. Will bounce. Cameron and B. Sheehan are the umpires today.
Looks like Barker's off, Steve.
He got a very heavy knock midway through that second quarter. A terrible blow, because I think the Saints would just like to see him put a whole match together. Rod Owen comes out, plenty of pace. And he was looking then for Greg Burns. North Melbourne get away through Ramsey. Ramsey playing in the front position. Long kick looking for Glendinning. Jimmy Cracker taps it out. Good play. German. Ball bouncing at that awkward angle. Long hand pass over there by Cunningham to Owens. Good play. The loose man's on. Jobbling out there by himself. Oh, drops the mark. Not good football. The hand pass is equally poor. Smothers on North Melbourne away. Shimmer kicks it high, pulled off balance at the last moment. Wow in the front position, can't mark it. Coming through is Glendinning. Swings it back on his left foot. Straight through. Goal number 4 to Glendinning. Just the start St Kilda didn't want, the start North Melbourne did want. Poor play out on that wing by Andrew Jobbling. Dropped a vital mark, North swooped, and the resultant goal put North Melbourne 13 points ahead 3 minutes into the third quarter. Wait for that ball to come back to the centre, and
Seemed to do that very easily, Glendinning there.
too easily, really.
Yeah, it wasn't enough pressure.
Wow dropped the mark. Wow back in the middle. Warren Jones against Darren Harris. Big Wow gets the tap down. St Kilda not quite as sure of hand as they might be. Robertson had plenty of kicks. Can't quite get the ball away that time.
It was a classic tap down by Jones to Collins. It was a shame it didn't come on.
Found the St Kilda players have just been a little unsure with
Yeah,
their
they
hands. But we've been a bit critical of Rene King. He's been quite a good player. He's had a lot of chances to get the ball in general play, and he hasn't just been able to grab it.
The wind could have something to do with
Sure.
that. It's a little bit unsure.
And I think that you were out there earlier. Is the ground still a bit moist in certain areas?
It's a little bit soft in some places, yes.
Okay, well, it's Jimmy Cracker out with the ball. Sends it up forward. Most unlike Jimmy, didn't find a player. Nixon, he's had 9 or 10 kicks too, across to McConville. McConville out wide, looking for Burns. Good mark. Push from pillar to post. Burns, he's off like a flash. Looks for the pass. Kink, as I said, just not able to grab hold of the ball cleanly. And we all know what a very talented player he is when he's in form. Danny Frawley doing the rucking on the forward line for the Saints. Frank Coughlin tries for the punch away. Oh, good solid bump then, and that really did hurt. The umpire has come in. He can't possibly be paying a free kick. No, he's going to bounce the ball. There's a very good bump on Peter German. Tapped down by Tomei. Jimmy Cracker there. He's having a bit of trouble picking it up too, so coming through is Coghlan. Demetrio gets the ball onto the boot quickly. Wow in the front position, can't quite grab it. Tapped out by Owen. To May with a hand pass. Here's the chance for the Saints now. It's Demetrio again, good footballer. Shimmer sees that long hand pass back to Demetrio. He's on the left foot. Try and pick out a player, and he does just that. Silly football then by Frank Coghlan. Peter German with the ball. Big flies needed. The ball on the ground. The umpires come in and will bounce. I think Ross Glendinning's in there under some of that.
Crucial part of the game now. North and St Kilda seem just to be locked together at the moment.
13 points as Glendinning gets the pass and gets the tap down. Grant kicks it high. It'll be out of bounds on the full, or will it? Indeed it is. It'll be a free kick to be taken by David Ackley. Tough player to play on, David Ackley.
Yeah, he's a very good player.
It's a lovely looking kick into the square, looking for Glendinning, just slightly offline and through for a behind.
Just shows you how much the wind was then. He's kicked that from about 60 metres out.
The wind just straightening up a little. If anything, it's blowing straight down the ground, favouring North Melbourne. Probably worth 4 or 5 goals, as Brad said early on. St Kilda, in fact, helped themselves to 6 with it. Siri. Wow in front, got a nudge. Glendinning lines up. It's the post. That's the third poster for North Melbourne. All at that end. The scoreboard. St Kilda 8-6-54. St Kilda, North Melbourne 10-9-69. Saints back into attack. Burns in the front position. Good sharking there by Arsiri. If the Saints are making one mistake, it's they can't just hold on to the football. An unlucky bounce, perhaps. Frank Coghlan is well tackled, throws the ball away. That's the way the umpire sees it. Play on. Phil Cracker on the left boot, looking for Glendinning, and Roscoe Glendinning is right in front. He's a big boy and just the mark. His thigh very heavily strapped there, right thigh. Ross Glendinning aiming for goal number 5. And there it is. 5 goals to Glendinning. North Melbourne move on to 11 goals, 9-75. They're 21 points ahead of St Kilda. And Brad, this is the tale of the first quarter all over again. A very explosive start by North Melbourne.
That's right. It's really putting the pressure back on St Kilda now. Gonna have to find something, but North are playing very well again.
They kicked 2-2 to no score by the Saints in 7 minutes in this first quarter. That's the third quarter. Crowd about just less than 10,000, I would say. The ground conditions for Moorabbin are absolutely excellent. Wow gets the tap down. David Dwyer sharks it. Arsiri comes out with the ball. Steele, he's caught with the ball. The umpire says no, he will bounce.
Didn't really do much else there.
I think it was a reasonable decision then by umpire Sheehan. Coming out now, Frank Coghlan. Looks a bit like Burnsy. From behind Lockett, and Lockett has the chance for goal number 6.
Too strong men, Steve.
Yeah, 2 strong men. Lockett at one end, Glendinning at the other. Lockett aiming for goal number 6. Ross Glendinning already kicked 5. Straight into the breeze, Tony Lockett. Shouldn't worry him, doesn't worry him. The first one back by St Kilda. Tony Lockett's kick 6. St Kilda 9-6-60. Trail North Melbourne by 15 points on the Pro Footy scoreboard. North Melbourne 11-9-75. We've been playing 9 minutes.
We've changed Frawley back onto Glendinning, and Gamble's gone to centre forward.
Brad Gotch, St Kilda, our special guest commentator on Pro Football today. And let's hope he can watch his side put up a good show. Good tap down that occasion by Harris. North back into attack. Tracking the ball well. St Kilda As Burns coming out with it is Rod Owen. Played a pretty good game down there in half-back. Narkle coming out, then's Gamble. Good football. Looking for Narkle and finding him. Phil Narkle is pushed to the ground. I think he was foxing for the penalty.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Pass out to Greg Burns. Lovely pass in by Phil Narkle. Uses the ball very well indeed. And now Greg Burns. I think Burns, he isn't quite as at home down here at Moorabbin with the dry ground. Sees the pass. It's not a good one. Intercepted by Robertson, looking for Kink. But it's all St Kilda out here. Grant should be first there. He's going to be hotly pressed by North Melbourne's Paul Spargo. And the ball over the boundary line. Good play by Spargo.
Yeah, he did very well. Then he left his man from about half forward.
Took the punt.
Yeah, he did.
15 points the difference. Don't forget St Kilda to come home with the aid of a very strong breeze here. The Wow in front. North Melbourne out with the ball. Over to Schimmelbusch, been a great player. Schimmer across to Dwyer. Little chip pass looking for Glendinning. Cracker to the ground. The hand pass back to Dwyer. Dwyer lines up. Rod Owen should be down there and is.
Playing well now.
He is playing very well. He's got his confidence. Coghlan. And pass on again. Saints looking a lot more tidy in this quarter. Could have been a push in the back against you, Burnsy. Peter Cameron's too experienced to fall for that. And the free kick taken by Ramsey. And pass over to Demetrio. Good mark taken down there by Grant. David Grant on the half-back line. Big job for the St Kilda defence in this quarter. They know they can win the game if they can keep North Melbourne down to a reasonable score with the breeze. Throw in, centre wing position. Was Graham Jelly particularly concerned about Ross Glendinning's quarter?
Well, you know, he's just hoping that we could tighten up on him because he was causing a bit of damage.
North Melbourne back into attack. Good mark taken there by Fairley. Could almost kick it then if he steadied. He's taken the big pot. It's not a bad looking kick. It's a great goal. North Melbourne 12-9. And that brings them on to 81. They're 21 points ahead of St Kilda, who are 9-6. Fair old pot shot that.
Yeah, it was a good boot. Just goes to show what you can do when you really get into it.
12 minutes gone in the third quarter, and North Melbourne ahead by 21 points. The sort of margin they led by in the first quarter too, we might remind you, and early in the second quarter. And St Kilda, once they had that wind and Tony Lockett firing, looked as though they could do anything. Darren Harris will come in from the left of screen against Wow Jones. Been a pretty good tussle. The unfortunate bounce. Collins can't hold on to the ball. He's got a case of the fumbles. The Conville playing behind his man, puts pressure on. Spargo, got plenty of pace, looks for the pass to the Crackers, threads it through. And Jimmy Cracker is 45 metres out. Let's see what he does with the ball. It's always a treat. I don't know if Jimmy owns a pair of long socks. Decides on the long kick, though.
Looks good.
Looks good indeed. Beautiful kick then by Jim Cracker. Lovely pass by Spargo.
The guy that's been out 6 weeks with suspension, he still looks pretty good. Pretty fit.
Was it that long? 4 weeks?
4 weeks, wasn't it?
Yes, North Melbourne 13-9, 87 leads St Kilda 9-6, 60, 27 points the margin. 13 minutes gone in the third quarter. Hope you're enjoying this telecast on Pro Football wherever you are around Australia. And you stick with us and follow your team each week. Umpire Sheehan back in the centre of the ground. Harris uses his height and reach to tap over. Not a good one. Could have been against you, Rao. It is. And the free kick will go to Stephen Hickey. Hickey, beautiful torpedo. Lovely kick with the aid of that breeze. Larkin threads it over his shoulder. Won't swing back, or will it? No, just offline. And Matthew Larkin puts through his third behind. He's kicked 1-3. 28 points the difference.
They're looking dangerous now, North.
They are. They're
Very
just making it... you'll have to probably kick 6 or 7 goals in the last quarter just to catch up. Owen to May with a long hand pass. Hard work. And we'll have a throw in. Mark Gamble out there with that reddish hair. Harrison Jones. Wow gets the tap down to Collins. Takes it first grab that time. North looking a lot surer with the ball. Free kicks going St Kilda's way. High kick. Gamble there. Almost takes the one-hander. The umpire says no, it's Schimmelbusch who gets it out to Demetrio. Demetrio's kick off the side of his boot a little, and the mark is taken by Ian Fairley. Fairley plays on straight away. That's the way he kicked that last goal. Chance now for Larkin, shoots at goal. The bounce, looks good. That's his second. Good play then by Matthew Larkin. At the 17-minute mark, North Melbourne are just getting away. They're now 34 points ahead.
So I think that might have been Spargo.
I think you might be right too.
On the left foot.
Just hard to pick up from that distance. The ball back in the centre of the ground. They're both sandy haired, both about the same size.
Very similar.
The tap down then by Harris. Frank Coughlin gets it. Shows plenty of pace too. It's not a good looking kick. Get out of the way, Graham Bond, says Phil Narkle. And North Melbourne come out again. It's German who kicks it long. Ross Glendinning tries to follow up. Arsiri comes out, kicks towards goal. There's no one at home. It bounces through. That's the third North goal to bounce through. Mark Arsiri second. And North Melbourne just cantering away at this stage. 40 points. And there's no one in the goal square for St Kilda. And it's been very, very costly. Frawley is on Glendinning. "18 minutes gone in this third quarter here at Moorabbin. 40 points the difference. North have kicked 6 goals in 18 minutes. Harris gets the tap. German can't quite get it out of the centre. Ackley punches it down. Robertson sends it forward. North looking very classy in this third quarter, and we'll have a throw in the forward pocket.
Key to it is North is starting to get out of the centre, with Harris is starting to win in the ruck.
Exactly, and German, Arsiri and these fellows, Larkin, are doing the rest. Owen comes out with the ball. Been a good play down there in the back line. Kicks it high. It's all North Melbourne. Kink can't grab it. Looking for Gamble. Over the boundary line on the full. There'll be a free kick to North. Things certainly going with the ruse at the moment as Roy Ramsey comes out of defence. He's always got plenty of toe. Kicks at 50 metres. St Kilda players spoiling themselves. The only North player in there was Jimmy Cracker, and he ends up kicking it towards the boundary line. Find it tough watching?
Yeah, it is very tough. Very hard, yeah.
Fairley against Jones. He's rucked virtually all day. Wow. A bit of help up forward from Danny Frawley. But now that has gone because Frawley's gone to full back.
Well, starting to look a little bit tired. Starting to show him his tap outs.
Well, North have had the advantage of having Fairley up forward, plus McCann and Harris to ruck against him. Here comes Burnsy. They are missing Barker too. Here's the chance now for Narkle. How much toe's he got? He's got good protection from Kink.
Kink doing a great job.
Kink's doing a terrific job. Narkle running. It's a great run by Phil Narkle. He drops it. And a good tackle. Comes out again. And the umpire says there'll be no free kick and we'll have a bounce.
What a shame that didn't bounce back up right for him.
umpire Peter Cameron just having a word or two to say there. Darren Steele getting a little tap on the rib cage from the ump. Ball down towards the boundary line, and that should be where it stays unless there's some smart footwork. We'll have a throw in. St Kilda have kicked 1 goal for the quarter. It was Tony Lockett's 6th. North Melbourne, meanwhile, have kicked 6. They've used the wind to perfection this quarter. There'll be a free kick, play on. It'll be Robertson, been a good player down there too. It's a left foot kick around the boundary line. It's a long kick, mark taken by Spargo. Looking for Glendinning. At the back, however, was Gary Odgers. St Kilda vice-captain finds a teammate. Saints back into attack. McConville. Terrific mark. Sometimes you wonder whether St Kilda get enough out of him, whether they use him correctly. Over the back there was Mark Gamble. Gamble's high kick will hold up. Kink underneath it. There are 3 North Melbourne players there. Narkle in there. Gets to his man just in time. Here's the chance now for the Saints. North Melbourne defenders everywhere. Good play, Burnsy. Lines up. It's an awful looking kick. Will it bounce? It's Lockett who backs up. And great play by Jimmy Cracker. Cool professional football. The little master from Western Australia. And he's quite prepared to tap it over and give away a point. What a shocking bounce.
Unbelievable.
McCann's kick's a beauty. That's a charge.
Marked it anyway.
As indeed.
It's doing well, Robertson.
He's playing a very good game. Best game I've seen him play. Good grab down there to Fairley. The umpire says play on. Phil Cracker shrugs the tackle. Ball will bounce over the boundary line for a throw-in on the half-forward line for North Melbourne. Ball moving very quickly down North Melbourne's way with the aid of that very gusty wind. And I think that wind is one of the reasons that old Wow's finding things fairly tough, because running into it isn't all that pleasant. Here they come through. Ramsey, the ruse, into attack again. He'll go wide looking for Glendinning or Fairley. Finds Fairley, and Fairley's only a matter of 25 metres out. He's kicked 1 goal this quarter. He has the ideal opportunity to kick the ruse 7th for the quarter. Kicks a shocker. Straight across the front of goals. And Ian Fairley can watch that on replay and wonder just what happened.
I think he's in a bit of soft ground there, so he might have just lost a bit of footing.
Frawley puts it out. Holds up in the wind. Man in front should have had the opportunity. Being held to him. I think that was quite obvious. Umpire Sheehan will bounce. 23 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter. The Wow, as Brad said, just tiring a little. Over to Schimmelbusch. Schimmer's kick. It's a good-looking kick too. Great captain's goal by Schimmelbusch. North Melbourne, 16-10, 106. Have opened up a match-winning lead of 45 points in this 3rd quarter. They've been playing 23 minutes, and they've kicked 7 goals to 1 for the term.
North's running players really come into it this quarter, causing a lot of trouble.
They've got talent all over the ground, North Melbourne. You just wonder how they got bogged down in the 2nd quarter.
The skills are really showing through too.
And they've put the pressure on. They've made St Kilda fumble at vital times. In the middle there, they've got Arsieri, Robertson, Larkin, and this fellow Harris. By Schimmelbusch coming in like a bullet. Gamble now with the opportunity. He slides over in the fairly heavy going out there. And North Melbourne do it cleverly. Robertson, be a free kick. It's going to go to Burnsy, is it? Gamble. Mark Gamble. Keeps it low, looking for Kink. He used the body, but there was none left to get up. Schimmelbusch. 75 metres up and 50 metres long. Grant to McConville. Who's he going to kick it to? Tries to swing it back looking for Gamble. And does. Just pulls up. Gamble can't keep his footing again. Saints away. Looking for Peter Budge. Peter Budge in the front position is being held onto. Good bit of shepherding by Kink. Chance again. Dwyer comes through. The ball over the boundary line. Good play by Rene Kink, then put pressure on everyone. And we'll have a throw in the forward pocket for the Saints. Entering time on in this third quarter. Hasn't been a memorable one for the St Kilda side. Tap over the back by Lockett to Burns. Burns lines up. Slung to the ground and North Melbourne will clear. Cunningham bounces off his chest. German pushed in the back. Too high, says the umpire. Free kick against you, Fader, to be taken by Peter German. Close to best on the ground, I think. Topsy-turvy punt kick. Robertson goes for the punch on rather than the mark. Owen, good play, Rod Owen, picks it up. Dummies, and we'll have a throw in. St Kilda must bottle it up for the next 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Well, they could do with a couple of goals, really, couldn't they, to give themselves a chance, because it's a pretty strong win.
Burns. Good smother then by Steele, and we'll have another throw in.
North's pressure is really good.
They're a bit bigger, a bit faster, and a bit more talented. And it made St Kilda's second quarter effort terrific. The tap down. Here's the chance for Kink. He can get around. Can't hold on to the ball. And we'll have a throw in. They just bottle up in that attacking forward pocket for St Kilda. Burns can't hold it. Ramsey, good play over to Demetrio. He'll look for Ackley. Ackley in front of the running Andrew Jobling. Falls over, recovers well in the back. The umpire says that's the way it is. Free kick to Ackley. Just too experienced, David Ackley. Big jump then by Jimmy. No mark. Held by the leg. Peter Cameron will bounce. Half forward flank for the Saints, about 65 metres out on that outer side of the ground. Conville with a hand pass on. Saints have really blown this one in this quarter. Probably through no fault of their own. Peter German. Chance for Arsiri. Lines up. Offline. Through for a point. He's kicked. We're out of bounds. 27 minutes gone, and Graham Jelly would be hoping that siren would go pretty quickly, as the margin now is 45 points. Lovely kick into the wind. And the wow. Big Wow's been awarded the mark. And I think he'd quite enjoy that too. Been doing a very good job today, Wow. Tired a little in that quarter. He finds Burns. Burns over towards the centre of the ground. Chance for Jobling. He's away. Can he use it? Nice mark.
Grant.
Lovely mark taken by Grant. Got to get it down there quickly. Looking for Kink. And Kink's got the ball. He's got the mark. The distance will be a problem into this wind. He's about close to 40 metres out. Lines up. Rene Kink. He's kicked one goal. Offline. Just to behind.
They had too much then.
He did indeed, and the ball sort of skewed in. Steve McCann goes for the short pass. Loose men everywhere to Harris. Wobbly old kick. Straight down the ground. Gamble. Nixon. Ackley comes out with it. Could have been high. The umpire says play on anyway. It's over to Phil Cracker. St Kilda away through Odgers.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to be going right for them. Spargo, clever play. Threads through and gets out. Coughlin uses his pace. He's impressed me. Cunningham to Tomei. Hard bump that one. The Saints still in there with a chance as Grant swings it round. Chance now for Lockett. Very unlucky for
But
Tony
still.
Lockett, because the siren beats him for three-quarter time. And at three-quarter time, North Melbourne 16-10, 106 lead St Kilda 9-8, 62. That margin 44 points. St Kilda must make up with the wind in the last quarter, and that's where we'll rejoin you. Final term about to get underway in pro football's match of the day as Peter Cameron holds the ball up. North Melbourne, a terrific third quarter. They kicked 7 goals, 3 to set themselves up for victory and keep them well within sight of the finals. Steele gets the ball out wide. He's looking for Spargo. Spargo in front of McConville. Should have too much pace. McConville with the experience. Spargo comes out with the ball, grabbed by the foot, and there'll be a free kick. Glendinning in the front position. Behind it's Cunningham. Looks it up, looks at the ball and says, what am I doing with this? Chance again now for Steele, but great play, Burns. Chance for Kink all by himself. Rene Kink there. He's directly in front. They must start with a couple of goals, St Kilda, if they're going to bridge this gap. Rene Kink, 50 metres out exactly. It's a beautiful looking kick, just offline. And Rene Kink now has kicked 1 goal, 3. Good play by Burns in the centre, the way he spun out then. And
Yeah, superb.
St Kilda have made a couple of changes. Peter Budge is off the ground, as is Frank Coughlin. On is skipper Trevor Barker and Alistair Ford. Huge kick out. Big Wow gets the fist of the ball. Saints away again. Barker off the side of the boot. Burns goes through, no thought at all for self-preservation, and we'll have a bounce. Peter Cameron to bounce. Good smother in there. Another bounce. Pretty scrappy play here. St Kilda kicking with the aid of a wind. Well, we figure to be worth around 6 goals. St Kilda, in fact, kicked 6 with it in the second quarter, North 7 in the third quarter. Punched down by Grant. Robertson caught without the ball. The umpire says must have been knocked from his hand. We'll have a throw-in. 26 is Darren Harris. Alistair Ford gets the tap down. Phil Cracker. Hand pass on for Demetrio. Awkward bounce. Demetrio looks for the hand pass too. North Melbourne out of defence. A nice mark taken there by Spargo. He's off. Creative player. He's a runner. So's Andrew Demetrio, and that's exactly what he's doing. Demetrio is flattened as he punches the ball onto Ackley. Back to Spargo. Everything happening for Paul Spargo. Good tackle, good smother, I should say, by Larkin. Ball into the centre of the ground. Kicked off the ground this time. Chance for St Kilda through to May. Doesn't know quite what to do. It's Nixon. He gets out well. Lovely torpedo. Here's the chance now for the Saints. Danny Frawley. The hand pass over to Burns. Here's the chance again for the hand pass, and he wants it. Burns lines up, pushed offline at the last minute, and through for a behind.
And that's on the full, I think.
Right across goal. Wasted opportunity. Chances by Kink and then by Burns.
We really do need some goals.
Those couple of goals would have just taken a little bit of the load off and shown some light at the end of the tunnel. They weren't to be. McCann. One bouncing over or touched.
All seem happy just to bottle things up at the moment. Playing very defensive.
Alistair Ford in there. Beaten clearly that time by Darren Harris. And we'll have another throw-in. North with that 43-point lead going into the last quarter. Really, they couldn't ask to be better placed. Tap on. Barker. Saints back into attack. Burns it is who takes the mark. Played a terrific game today, Greg Burns. Seen him play some blinders down here at Moorabbin. Around 45 to 50 metres out from goal. His kick, that's a better looking kick, Burnsy. He's put it through for St Kilda's 10th. They move to 10-9-69, trailing North Melbourne to a 16-10, 106. We've been playing just over 6 minutes in this quarter, and Greg Burns has kicked his second goal.
If they can get a bit of a run on here, they
want a bit of a run on.
A couple of quick ones could make it interesting.
It's been the story of the day, though, the wasted opportunities by St Kilda in all but the second quarter. And Burns and King put through those 2 early goals, and really they're a great chance. But they're still in there. They've got that breeze as German gets it out of the centre. He's looking for Fairley, who takes the mark. Ian Fairley plays on, looking for Jimmy Cracker. Cracker out by himself at the boundary.
If they've got the runners here, a couple.
Slides it round quickly to Robertson. John Collins trying to impede him. No chance of kicking it from there. He's kicking right into the teeth of the wind. One would imagine he would look for Ross Glendinning. Slides through for a behind. Wait now for the kick in. 38 points the difference. Straight down the middle of the ground. It's the only way to go. It's a beautiful looking kick too. The tap on. Will the bounce beat Demetrio? No, he traps it nicely. He's pushed to the ground. St Kilda come out with the ball. Here's the chance now to Alistair Ford. A hand pass over to Narkle. Bit of byplay behind. And great piece of play by Ackley. A polished defender. Burns gets past him. Not textbook style. Great try then by Larkin. Alistair Ford runs around, kicks it high. He's looking for Lockett. Can't take the mark. Kink can't grab the ball. So frustrating, I think, Rene. Lockett back to Kink. Kink lines up from 50 metres out. He's offline yet again and through for a behind. 1-4 to Rene Kink. Oh, he'd be kicking himself at the moment. $15-metre penalty. Longest 15-metre penalty I've ever seen. St Kilda player then was in the square as the fullback John Law went to kick out. The umpire's taken them right up to the centre square. Good play then by Barker, threw himself on the ball. The umpire's found the free kick. It will go to Trevor Barker, is it? Well, underneath it all then is Ricky Nixon. Barker was on the ground, but the free kick went to Nixon. Bouncing kick. Kink comes through. Can he get it? He's got the ball this time. He's got rid of it. Could have been a push in the back then. That's a grab by the ankle, surely, right in front of the umpire. Bounces on. Plenty of tackling going on. The umpire's just content to let the game run. It's German. He's got all the time in the world. Not an ounce of pressure on him. Kicks in looking for one of the Cracker boys, Jimmy.
John Collins.
Yes, in front, Johnny Collins. Saints look as though they're belting their head against a brick wall at the moment. Breeze has not dropped. Free kick going to North, going to Arsiri. Right in the centre of the ground. Mark Arsiri, centre wing. Looking for Glendinning. In fact, coming out with the ball in was Gamble. He's dispossessed and the umpire will call for a throw-in. Boundary umpire has the ball right on that 50-metre line. Wow, down that time, Alistair Ford comes out with it. Kicks it a mile too. Underneath it, Shimmer, he can't hold the ball. Finally comes out and hand passes it back. And we'll have a throw-in. Pretty scrappy football this. North quite content to use their defences and stop St Kilda from scoring the required 7 goals. That was Harris. Robertson in front and will take the free kick. Darryl Cunningham back in the senior side. Oh, I think that one would have hurt too.
German, pretty tough.
Rod Owen running straight through him. Knocked all the wind out, I'd say.
Solid hit.
High kick from German. Alistair Ford behind. Coming out's Jimmy Cracker. Swings it high. Glendinning in the perfect position. Couldn't mark it if indeed there was a perfect position. Burns takes the ball, swings it around the flank. Frawley with the ball. Free kick. Play on, says the umpire, and away with the ball is Stephen Hickey. The St Kilda crowd didn't like that one little bit. Ball on the ground again. Nixon been a very good player for the Saints today. And Hickey, a great tumbling mark right in front of us. Hickey's kick round towards the half-forward line. Owen coming in there and just running into Fairley, and the free kick will be against Rod Owen. Fairley kicks it high. He'll be looking for Glendinning. Alistair Ford in there. No free kick forthcoming. St Kilda crowd appealing for the holding the ball decision against Ramsey. Peter Cameron too cool for that one. Big wows down there, gets the tap down to May on the left foot. Been a good player, Harris. He's impressed me enormously today. Done a lot around the ground. Larkin, great play. Kicks it straight up in the air. Here's the chance now for St Kilda. With Demetrio. Looks as though he's going to beat them all. Great play, Andrew Demetrio. Gutsy football. Larkin back there, the hand pass out to Phil Cracker. Cracker's pass finds Fairley. Systematic football by the Roos. Under pressure, and it's Steele. Aaron Steele ridden to the ground then. He'll look for Glendinning. And why not? Ross Glendinning has the ball knocked away from him, and the free kick will go to Wow Jones. Ridden to the ground then by the former Brownlow medalist. Wow, not quite sure which way to go, but he's going to go looking for Paul Tomei. Tomei gets the hand pass on. Peter McConville overruns it. It was a poor hand pass. Larkin now at 50 yards, lines up. Glendinning in the front position, off his hands, Fairley runs around. Through for a behind. The scoreboard here at Moorabbin in Pro Football's match of the day. The home side St Kilda 10-10-70. Trail North Melbourne 16-12 108. That margin is 38 points. We've been playing nearly 15 minutes in this final term. Brad, they look as though they've blown it, St Kilda.
Yeah, they seem to be stopping rather than coming home.
Here's Peter German with the ball. He lines up. He's offline. Bounces just inside the line, and St Kilda quite content to tap it over. Glendinning tries to grab the ball. It's Wow who comes out with it. Hand pass from Jimmy across to Phil. Phil lines up. Slams it goalwards. 1 point. Great teamwork then by the Cracker brothers. That second sense that they have.
Just know where each other are.
Mark Gamble uses his pace, and he's got plenty of that. Not to worry about this fella running. Straight into the centre of the ground, looking for and finding Rene King. Crowd saying, come on, Andrew Demetrio, get back. Hand pass over to Gary Odgers. Odgers' kick off the side of the boot. Here's a chance for Burns. Burns with a hand pass. Over to Frawley, slams it through. St Kilda kick their 11th goal. 11-10-76 to North Melbourne 16-13 109.
2 kicks and it's just about in the goal square.
Great play then by Mark Gamble at full back.
3 bounces.
And when they find Burns up forward, he's a creative player. He's so dangerous. Well, that margin now is 33 points. There's about 15 minutes to play. 6 goals required in 15 minutes. The Saints did it in the second quarter. Can they do it in the last quarter? The Wow gets it down. North just too strong in the centre of the ground. And a good mark taken there by Ricky Nixon. Nixon's off. Let's hope it bounces for him. Trapping the ball brilliantly. Then was Demetrio. He goes out wide looking for Phil Cracker. Always provides a target, Phil Cracker. And with the pace and the ball handling skills, nothing seems to faze him. Drags the ball right back into the centre. He'll be looking for Glendinning. Roscoe Glendinning takes a beautiful mark. 17-minute mark. Glendinning has the chance to kick his 6th goal. You'll have to allow a little for the breeze, which is blowing from left to right of screen. I feel like a golf commentator saying that. Not a problem in the world. Glendinning puts through his 6th goal, the answering goal. North Melbourne, their first for the quarter. They move to 17-13, 115, I think that is. And St Kilda 11-10, 76. Wait for the scoreboard to catch up with us. North Melbourne 17-13, St Kilda 11-10, and the Roos a step closer to the finals. I think John Kennedy would have had his worries about some parts of the first and second quarters. The second half has been a very impressive display, even though it is against the bottom side in the competition. Peter Cameron, the ball down again. Shadows lengthening here at Moorabbin. A beautiful afternoon for football, just a bit windy perhaps. Ramsey, Nixon underneath it. Oh, lucky old mark that one. Ricky Nixon knows he has to kick it long. No point in kicking it short or sideways. Here's the chance. The tap on. Burns gets the unlucky bounce perhaps. Schimmelbusch caught. The umpire says play on. Here's the opportunity now as Tomei goes wide. Whatever for. And McCann just runs the ball out of defence. Out there is Trevor Barker. Just a bit too casual, Trev. Has to fight hard. He's got plenty of skills. And North Melbourne now with a chance to run the ball away. Dreadful piece of play by Paul Tomei. And North Melbourne just ran the ball out. Glendinning taps the ball on. Here's the chance for Cracker. Phil Cracker, or Jimmy Cracker, runs into goal. I think that was Jimmy Cracker then.
Yeah.
North Melbourne 18-13, 121, running away with this match. St Kilda 11 goals, 10. They've only scored 3 goals since half-time, and there's around 10 minutes to play. A trail now by 45 points. 2 goals to Jimmy Cracker. A lovely piece of play down there. Dead heat, that knockdown. Wow makes up for it the second time round. But North have been just so good in getting the ball out of the centre. Wow gets a tap down, intercepted by Robertson. German, the front runner here. He's in front of Ricky Nixon, and the ball will be over the boundary line for a throw-in. Very tight camera work there by John Gilby. Been right on the ball all day. Alistair Ford in the rear position. Handball back to Phil Cracker. North Melbourne into attack again. Out there is Fairley in the back position. And the umpire will pay the free kick to David Grant. Saints away. Good mark taken there. The Saints through Narkle. Want to be quick. The hand pass, the tap on. Demetrio Gets the pass over to McCann. McCann swings it back. Chance now for Cunningham. Swings around on his right foot. Forward. Looking for Lockett. He's kicked half a dozen. The bounce favours him. He's going to be collared. Burns runs straight at Schimmelbusch. And coming out with it, cool play is Darren Steele. I wouldn't fancy being Wayne Schimmelbusch then. Dwyer to Fairley, right under the scoreboard. A very small crowd, around 10,000, have witnessed a fairly high standard match. There's been some very good footy at times. Obviously some poor footy. John Collins, the hand pass over then to Mark Gamble. Still got plenty of run left in him. Big high mark out there. Dwyer. Back to Fairley. Come right into it since quarter time. Fairley's kick a rainmaker. Shouldn't say that round here. The last thing they need. Tap out from Jimmy to Phil. Phil uses his pace, lines them up, puts them through. Great goal to Phil Cracker. 19th to North Melbourne, 19-13, 127. And they're now 51 points ahead of St Kilda. They've run away with this game, and that's Phil Cracker's first for the day. Lovely play, the little tap on from Jim across to Phil, and he seems to have all the time in the world.
Phil's really destroyed St Kilda in the second half.
You just see how much North have missed the Cracker brothers over the past 4 or 5 weeks. Phil since he broke his arm in Sydney, and Jim since he's been out suspended.
Yeah, they're very important, aren't they?
Oh, terrific. Here go the Saints. John Collins, the ball taken from him. Free kick, it'll go to Johnny Collins. No, back here this way. Back to the centre, Narkle. Narkle kicks it high. One-on-one duel, McCann and Lockett takes the mark. Chance to kick goal number 7. McCann and Lockett having the odd word to say to each other. Pound for pound, I'd say that Tony Lockett would probably be just a couple heavier.
Just a little bit. Just goes to show that they had given Tony the chance in this quarter. We could have given him a chance to win.
They tried the pot shots from 55 metres out.
Haven't got the ball down to him quick enough.
This is Lockett's 7th coming up. Not a worry about it. He's kicked 7 goals straight, Tony Lockett. Very impressive performance. They've really helped the Saints show some respectability on the scoreboard. St Kilda 12 goals, 10-82. North Melbourne 19-13, 127. 23 minutes gone in this final quarter. And it's been a very one-sided second half. North Melbourne have managed to get the ball out of the centre just so well. Number 12 in your picture there, Rowan Robertson, has been no exception. A very good player for North today. One of the new breed. Wow gets the ball, quite a surprise. And again, Wow saying, where's it coming from? Back down again in the centre. Wow gets that thumping knockdown. Robertson, the man we mentioned just a moment ago, sends it forward. And David Grant takes the mark. He gets a cops one right in the back too, which will probably sting a little tomorrow. Good grab taken there by Danny Frawley. Played half the game at full-back and half and at centre half forward, or in the half forward line, looking for Lockett. Takes a great mark. Gets a little bit of attention there and doesn't like it all that much. He's just probably mentioning the fact that he has kicked 7 goals straight and is now aiming for his 8th to Steve McCann. You can see the footing he's in there. It looks particularly rough out there, very sandy and holding.
Yeah, very soft.
But for a Ballarat boy like Tony Lockett,
used to that.
That's his 8th. Great play by Lockett. The 25-minute mark in the last quarter. Tony Lockett has kicked his 8th goal. St Kilda have moved on to 13-10. 88 North Melbourne, 19-13 for the quarter. The Saints have kicked 4 against North Melbourne's 3. And they've done fairly well. But as Brad Gotch said earlier, if they had have started looking for had looked for Tony Lockett a little earlier in the quarter, they might have made the job just that much easier, because they did waste some opportunities. Some bad pieces of play resulted in goals. Narkle gets the ball out of the centre. Frawley's under it. Gets no backup. Steele's in there. Burns is coming at him like a train, putting plenty of pressure on. Steele with a hand pass over his head. Not a good one. The Saints go forward. Lockett looking for him now. The game's all over, and the ball will be thrown in. My gosh, he's an impressive player when he's in full flight, Tony Lockett. Burns takes the ball off the top of the pack, sends it out there. Kicked off the ground, is it, or pushed? Phil Narkle appeals. How's that? Not out, says the umpire. Alistair Ford comes in, number 31. Fresh and clean. It's a North Melbourne knock. Jobling spins around off the boundary. It'll be an awkward kick. Narkle picks it up cleverly. Lines up. Offline for 1 point. Phil Narkle has kicked 1-2 for the game. 27 minutes gone. 38 points the difference. They're a hard side to beat down here at Moorabbin, and I think every side who comes down here knows they've been playing. McCann. Coming out with its Cunningham. Sends it round looking for Schimmelbusch. Great mark to Schimmer. Not quite sure what to do there. Been a good player today, Wayne Schimmelbusch. Always uses the ball well. Phil Narkle gets it on like a rocket over to Ramsey. North Melbourne into attack again. Back to Phil Narkle. Does he make up some ground? Saw him drop the ball. He picks it up like just ever so easily. Ackley lines up from 40 metres out. Might have trouble making the distance, but he'll find Glendinning. Glendinning with one hand. Arsieri swings it round. It'll be out of bounds on the full. And the penalty would go to Gary Hodges, the St Kilda vice-captain. Oh, yes, it will indeed. Siren due to go any second. Hodges looks for Tomei. Tomei with a hand pass on to Nixon. Got plenty of kicks today, Ricky Nixon. He's got a good future ahead of him. Go long. Grant down to centre half forward looking for Kink. Finds him. Kink goes wide. Got the perfect pass from Lockett. First mistake he's made all day, Tony Lockett. And puts plenty of pressure on his man. And McCann goes for the boundary line. There'll be a throw in. There's the Saints coming again. Free kick. Go to John Collins. He's in that soggy piece of ground that Tony Lockett kicked the goal from just before. He's just a touch further out. 50 metres. You'll see the line as he kicks it. There it is, a high kick. Good try. Off hands through for a point. St Kilda 13-11 or 13-12 now 90. North Melbourne 19-13, 127. North with Steele with the ball. Just before the game ends, let's check those goal kickers. Ross Glendinning finished with 6 goals. Jim Cracker 2. Mark Arsieri 2. Peter German 2. The singles, Fairley, Cracker, Matthew Larkin, John Law, Stephen McCann, Wayne Schimmelbusch and Paul Spargo. Still a chance for Ross to add to those 6 goals. For St Kilda, Tony Lockett finished with 8. Greg Burns 2. Phil Narkle, Rene Kink and Danny Frawley 1 apiece. Jimmy Cracker at the 30-minute mark. Passes out there on the wing to David Dwyer. Just a bit of short passing, a bit of keeping off. The ball heads towards the boundary line for the throw, and there's the siren. The final score sees North Melbourne 19-13-127, recording a very impressive victory, their 9th for the season, beating St Kilda 13-12-90, the margin some 37 points. Hope you've enjoyed our telecast on Pro Football. Thank you to Brad Gotch.
Thanks, Steve.
Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be back next week for the next Pro Footy match of the day.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer. Real footy Guernseys, real footy shorts, and real supporters wool jumpers in all club colours and badges. Go for the VFL mark at Myer.
North Melbourne eventually running out relatively comfortable 37-point winners and keeping their faint finals hopes alive. The final scoreline showing North 19-13-127, St Kilda 13-12-90. It's becoming a bit of a habit of John Kennedy's of moving Ross Glendinning out of defence into attack, but at the moment it's working. Glendinning today booted 6 goals, while St Kilda's main contributor was their spearhead Tony Lockett. Another big day. He finished with 8 goals. So North Melbourne are currently lying in 8th position on the ladder, a game away from Essendon, Collingwood, Footscray and Fitzroy. So the next few weeks all important for a number of clubs. It's going to be great action, and of course you can catch it all here on Pro Football.